I know a lot of you that watch my videos, you enjoy micro brand watches. You're drawn to the value proposition. You like a good diver where you're getting screw links, you're getting a ceramic loomed bezel, you're getting applied markers or an adjustable clasp. You're getting some nice things that you don't generally find in one watch at the same price from a mainstream brand. And I know that I guess you could say, a phase where I was really into micro brands. And I think a lot of watch enthusiasts kind of go into phases where they're all about micro brands, or they're all about Seiko, or they start going into mid-level Swiss, or they get into a German phase, or a vintage phase, or a luxury phase. And I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that. There's no judgment from me. But let me tell you where I'm at here. I've kind of passed my micro brand phase, and I've said no to probably 90% of the micro brands and Kickstarter campaigns that reach out to me to ask me if I want to present and share their product and get it out there, get the word out. And you know what? I haven't said yes to a lot because I don't know. I might be different from the average watch fan. It takes a lot from a micro brand to excite me and to get me interested in wanting to spend the time and effort to do the macro video, to do the editing and the intro and all that's involved in creating a video. It takes a lot. And so over the years, I've really kind of only worked with a few micros. And I think in the coming years, that's only going to continue to tighten up, so to speak. And ZELOS is one of those brands that I've worked with for years and that I will continue to work with because I really enjoy what they're doing. They're coming out with watches that are original, that have nice elements, nice colors, great lume, great fit, and they're coming out at very reasonable prices to where, you know what, you can live with the niggles, you can live with the minor drawbacks or nitpicks that you may have with a particular piece. And so today, in front of the camera, is the ZELOS Swordfish in emerald green. The last time that ZELOS released the Swordfish, it sold out in one day. So, you know what? I have a feeling that this Swordfish is going to sell out in a very similar amount of time, unless ZELOS has really expanded the amount of each colorway that they will be producing, because this is a value proposition. And I know maybe I overuse that phrase or that word. I try to feature value-rich watches on this channel that I enjoy, that I can recommend. But this one particularly is a good price, $269 at launch. And you get a bracelet, you get screw links, you get a milled clasp, you get a ceramic loomed bezel insert, you get a sandwich dial, a Fume Sunray colorway here in the emerald green. There's an engraved case back. There's a quick release end links here of the bracelet. You get an original design. You get a great size. This is not a monstrosity that's, 45 millimeter and 14 thick. This is a 40.7 millimeter diameter diver with the screw down crown, 200 meters of water resistance. It's 12.4 in overall height, 46 in overall lug to lug length, 20 millimeter lug width, small taper on the bracelet to 18 millimeter. And so it's a great size and it really pops in natural light. The color play is great. You look at the bracelet, the short links, the polished chamfered edges, the vertical satin finish here, and the wrist rolls are exciting. And it's these little details that us as watch enthusiasts really enjoy. And we go, yes, this is why I wear this watch. It makes me feel good. I have an emotional connection with this watch. This ZELOS Swordfish, it has those elements. It has the value, and it has it under $300. Now, I will say, I've been mispronouncing this brand for years. I've called it ZELOS, and it's not ZELOS. I found out recently, thank you to Random Rob, that it's ZELOS, and that is straight from the mouth of the brand owner, the founder of this brand. So it's ZELOS, and I'm going to try my best to always say ZELOS, but you might catch me from time to time slipping into old bad habits and calling it a ZELOS, but just remember it's a ZELOS. Now it comes in a few different colors, a few different options there, which is always nice from the factory. And let me show you guys something cool. This is serial number 1 out of 200. And so it's always cool to see the first one off of the production line. I appreciate that. I want to thank ZELOS for sending this one for me to review. And I am authorized to do a giveaway within my Discord group. So one of the members of my Discord server, you're gonna get this watch, and I'm pumped for you. I like being able to pass the kindness forward, and thank you guys for the support, and just show a token of appreciation for the community that we have. I really enjoy that. Now, I've talked about the good things. This is great value, great size, great details, ceramics, bitone lume, and C3X1 and BGW9. We have a sapphire crystal. We have inner anti-reflective treatment. We have a sandwich dial, screw down crown, engraved case back, right? We've got some good stuff. And I don't want this video to come across as just a straight up hype advertisement for ZELOS. There's going to be some negative elements too. And I think with any brand, you're going to have to live with something that might not be ideal. And it doesn't matter if you're spending $9,000 on a Rolex or $10,000 on a Glashütte original, or $3,000-$4,000 on an Omega, or $2,000 on a Zinn or an Oris or a Seiko. There's always going to be something that you have to live with, so to speak. And I found generally with luxury watches, those things that you have to live with, they don't seem to be as severe. They might come down to personal preference, right? They're subjective, they're minor. And then generally with more affordable watches, sometimes those negative elements are more egregious, but we can justify it. We can live with it because we're spending so much less. And remember, this is a $269 watch at launch. So I'm going to point out the flaws. I'm going to point out the negative elements. And I'm going to say I can easily live with this because I need to be consistent as a watch fan. I can recommend a Seiko, that has nicer case finishing, but it has terrible bezel action, or it has misalignment, or sometimes there's dust and particulates in the dial. So I have to be consistent here, guys. These are the negative elements. I will say the case finish work here on the Swordfish, for lack of a better word, it feels kind of cheap. The transition lines are kind of mushy. And then if you look at the side profile here, especially where the case meets the large teeth of the bezel, you guys can see some pretty big variance in the finish. In fact, it kind of looks cheap, but remember, it's a $300 or less watch. And so I can live with these minor things. I'm not trying to pass this off as a Glashütte or a Lange or anything like that. There will be differences at different prices. And again, that's coming back to being consistent as a watch fan. Now, the only other negative element in my eyes will be the bezel alignment. It seems like ZELOS, and this is uncharacteristic for this brand, it seems like they've made the same mistake as Seiko, and we have a misaligned bezel, so it's not going to line up perfectly with the double 12 sandwich marker, which is a disappointment. Let's go to the tactile elements. Let me show you the bezel, and I will be quiet so you guys can take just a good listen to what this sounds like. It's pretty good. It takes a decent amount of torque to make the position adjustment in between each one of the 120 indexes. I like the teeth. It's got good travel, especially at the 12 and the 6 o'clock position. There is no backplay. I think overall, it's going to be nicer than what you would find from a mainstream brand. Maybe not top of the market, but I'm not sure what top of the market would be at $300, to be honest. So I think the bezel action is really good. The lume is really satisfying. Again, the color play, the visuals of the wrist roll. Let's take a look at the clasp here. Now, this is not the clasp that we've kind of come to expect with the recent releases from ZELOS that really look almost like a one-to-one of the Christopher Ward Trident clasp that has the adjustable, without a tool, the adjustable travel. This one is going to be traditional, like what you would find on most micro brands, or a strap code bracelet where we have a milled center folding portion, we have a flip lock, and then on this one we have 6 different micro adjustment holes. But you do need a tool to be able to make those micro adjustment position changes. We have a blasted logo here on the clasp. And I think a lot of you would probably prefer the Christopher Ward style of clasp, but I think they're trying to get to a price here with this Swordfish. And that really is the biggest draw of this watch, in my opinion, is the value. You're spending G-Shock money, you're spending Eco Drive money, you're not spending very much, and you're getting quite a bit here. And that is really the appeal, or the large appeal in my eyes. So guys, that concludes the presentation here on the ZELOS Swordfish. I'm going to put a link in the description to ZELOS's website. So as soon as they're available, I would encourage you to pick up the one you're interested in, because I have a feeling, just given the price, given the specs, the size, even with the drawbacks, with the finishing, the alignment on this particular version, I think it's going to sell out quickly. And you might even be watching this at some future point. Click on the link and they're all going to be sold out. And I have a feeling that this is going to sell well. So guys, links in the description. If you're interested in joining my Discord, it's a perk of being a Patreon, of supporting me as I try to create content. So a link will be in the description for this giveaway. We do regular giveaways from other watches and swag and different things. It's a fun community. So guys, thanks for watching today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
I'm done.